with Robert and shit like that.
Shakur.
What up, what up, what up?
Hey, what's up with the tank talk?
Huh?
What's up with the tank talk? Is that set or what?
Is there any truth to
The
it?
rumors, Zepeda, all that.
Nope.
It's cat.
Yeah.
You see him?
So no Virgo and William Zepeda either? I don't know.
We've all been expecting the fight between Shakur and Zepeda,
And I'm telling you right now, this is exclusive. William Zepeda will fight Shakur Stevenson. He will fight Shakur. I will make that fight next if Shakur calls me.
but as we get closer to it, Shakur has decided to step out of the idea of this fight. And this wasn't just a private decision. It all happened live, leaving everyone, well, with something to say. The WBC had ordered Stevenson and Zepeda to negotiate for a fight with a deadline of August 20th to reach a deal. If they couldn't, a purse bid would determine the financials of the fight. But instead of working towards an agreement, Stevenson just dropped the huge news. He has no interest in fighting Zepeda. Stevenson made it clear that he wasn't going to fight Zepeda. "I'm not taking that fight," Stevenson said. "It doesn't make sense for me or my career. I'm looking for bigger names, bigger fights." Now, even if we all knew Shakur is chasing the likes of Tank, this was a decision that nobody saw coming. For weeks now, there had been talks about the potential showdown between the undefeated Stevenson and the dangerous Zepeda, who boasts an impressive record of 31-0 with 27 knockouts. But Stevenson, speaking with a confidence that left no room for doubt, shot down the idea completely.
Look, man, at this point, either you want to see Shakur Stevenson in a great big fight or you don't, bro. I don't understand some of his fans, bro. And I don't understand him.
On the other side, Golden Boy Promotions, led by the legendary Oscar De La Hoya, seemed to be in no rush to make the fight happen either. De La Hoya's lack of enthusiasm for the matchup was evident when he took to social media, declaring, "Nobody will tell us who to fight next." It was quite a statement, one that hinted at deeper issues between the promotional teams and the fighters. De La Hoya's stand was rooted in the belief that a fight between Stevenson and Zepeda wouldn't be a big seller. The numbers just didn't add up for him. According to sources close to the situation, the fight was projected to struggle to hit even 50,000 PPV buys, a far cry from the blockbuster numbers that would justify the risk. For De La Hoya, it was a simple calculation. If the fight isn't going to bring in the money, why bother? Oscar De La Hoya has been known for strategically navigating the complex world of boxing promotions. And in this case, his calculations told him that pushing for a Stevenson-Zepeda fight wasn't worth the trouble. "It's not just about getting in the ring," De La Hoya explained in an interview. "It's about making smart business decisions. We have to think about what's best for the fighters and the sport."
Three other options. Shakur Stevenson, you're a free agent, you're a great fighter, great talent, but not for me.
To De La Hoya, the numbers were clear. Neither Stevenson nor Zepeda has the mainstream appeal needed to draw a large audience. Shakur, despite his undeniable talent, has been criticized for his defensive style, which some fans, including many of us, find boring. His fights, while technically brilliant, don't always provide the kind of action that casual fans crave. On the other hand, Zepeda, who has been climbing the ranks with a string of knockout victories, is still relatively unknown outside of hardcore boxing circles. De La Hoya's decision to pump the brakes on this fight wasn't just about protecting his fighter, it was about the bigger picture. He knows that in today's boxing world, popularity often trumps titles. Holding a championship belt is one thing, but having the star power to sell out arenas and drive PPV sales is another. And in De La Hoya's eyes, neither Stevenson nor Zepeda is there yet.
I believe that when somebody says you're not fighting for the public,
The promoter's vision is clear. He wants to set up fights that will capture the public's imagination, not just the hardcore fans, something that we have seen Turki Al-Sheikh doing. That means targeting opponents like Gervonta Davis or Vasily Lomachenko, fighters who bring excitement and proven drawing power. "These are the fights that people want to see," De La Hoya said. "Stevenson and Zepeda? Maybe one day, but not now."
Hey, what's up, Clapback Thursdays? Let's start with the WBC and ordering Shakur Stevenson versus William Zepeda. Ordering? What does that mean? They ordered Canelo Benavidez like 3 years ago, and that hasn't happened. William will make his decision very soon, and he has...
Shakur Stevenson's decision to pass on the Zepeda fight tells us about where he sees his career heading. According to him, it's not just about getting in the ring with anyone who comes along, it's about making every fight count. "I'm in this to be the best," Stevenson said during the live interview, "but to do that, I need to fight the best, not just whoever's next in line."
He took him the distance, so I think this win for Zepeda was excellent, and now we go for the world title.
This mindset is becoming increasingly common among top fighters. In an era where boxing is as much about business as it is about sport, fighters are looking for matchups that will enhance their legacy and fatten their wallets. And as much as we hate to say it, it's something that Canelo is doing too. And to this, Stevenson is no different. He's focused on securing fights that will cement his place in history, not just add another win to his record.
I think that's the real issue. We got to get somebody signed a dotted line, but if I could pick, it's either Lomachenko.
According to Shakur, William Zepeda doesn't fit that bill. While Zepeda is a dangerous opponent with a perfect record, he doesn't have the name recognition or star power that Stevenson is looking for. Zepeda is a good fighter, no doubt, Stevenson admitted. But does beating him do anything for my career? Does it get me closer to the fights that really matter? I don't think so.
I say Zepeda. Why Zepeda keep saying my name and clout chasing me and then won't fight me? I don't think he...
Stevenson's eyes are on the biggest names in the sport: Gervonta Davis, Vasily Lomachenko, and perhaps even Jaron Boots' Ennis. These are the fights that will not only test his skills, but also draw the kind of attention that can elevate him from a great fighter to a legend. But these fights aren't easy to come by, and they come with their own risks, both in and out of the ring.
When you pitch to Shakur Stevenson, what are you going to say? I don't have to say anything. I'm just going to show him Wells Fargo on Saturday night and show him a fighter in Jaron Boots Ennis that we've had, 3 or 4 months to work on.
By saying no to Zepeda, Stevenson is making a calculated gamble. He's betting that he can secure one of the bigger fights he's after, but in the meantime, he risks losing momentum. Critics even argue that by being so selective, Stevenson might find himself without a dance partner, stuck on the sidelines while other fighters stay active.
I tell you what, Shakur Stevenson, William Zepeda being his mandatory, Shakur better win, he better dominate, he better make Zepeda look crazy. If Zepeda knocks out Shakur Stevenson, we'll never hear the end of it.
You can't just wait around for the perfect fight, one boxing analyst warned. In this sport, timing is everything. Sometimes you have to take what's available and make it work. This is a valid point. Boxing is an unpredictable sport, and fighters who stay inactive for too long can find themselves slipping out of the spotlight. But Stevenson seems unfazed by these concerns. "I know what I'm doing," he said. "I'm not worried about missing out. I'm focused on the bigger picture." For Stevenson, the key is patience and making sure that when he does step into the ring, it's for a fight that truly matters. As the August 20th purse bid deadline approaches, the question on everyone's mind is, what's next for Shakur Stevenson? If he's not fighting Zepeda, then who? The names being tossed around include Gervonta Davis and Vasily Lomachenko, but those matchups are far from guaranteed. Both Davis and Lomachenko have their own paths to follow, and getting them in the ring with Stevenson will require more than just desire. It will take serious negotiations and likely a lot of money. And then there's the issue of promotional politics. Boxing is notorious for its complex web of promoters, networks, and contracts, all of which can make getting big fights done a difficult task. Stevenson's insistence on only taking the biggest fights could limit his options if the deals can't be made. Yet, despite these challenges, Stevenson has remained quite optimistic. "I've got a lot of big fights ahead of me," he said. "It's just a matter of time before they happen." However, there is one thing we can all agree to. Even if Shakur says no to this fight, it's only a matter of time before he gives in to the fight with Zepeda. Both Shakur and Zepeda have continued to dominate their respective bouts, and every eye is on this possibility. That includes names like Turki Al-Sheikh. So, with all the pressure and talk about it, Shakur might actually end up giving in to the fight.
Come on, let's fight, Pitbull. Let's fight, Zepeda. Zepeda just stopped somebody his last fight. He beat the hell out of some dude. Want me?
In the latest episode of ProBox TV's Deep Waters, Chris Algieri brought attention to the current state of both fighters. He pointed out how their career trajectories now seem to be leading directly towards one another. For Stevenson, who just dismantled Artem Harutyunyan in his final fight under Top Rank's banner, the options for high-profile fights are starting to narrow. The unification bout he craves with either Vasily Lomachenko or Gervonta Tank Davis seems out of reach as Top Rank and Premier Boxing champions focus on making that particular fight happen, leaving Stevenson without a clear path to a unification match.
With, Tank Davis leaning towards having a unification bout with Vasily Lomachenko for the WBA and IBF lightweight title, you have either Denis Berinchik or Shakur Stevenson.
Zepeda, on the other hand, finds himself in a similar situation. Despite being the top-ranked lightweight contender across all 4 major sanctioning bodies, his quest for a title has been met with roadblocks. The WBO champion, Denis Berinchik, appears to be headed in a different direction, with Top Rank seemingly setting their sights on matching Berinchik against their rising star, Keyshawn Davis. Even Zepeda's promoter, Oscar De La Hoya, has admitted that targeting Berinchik might be a long shot, despite his public statements of wanting that fight. This leaves both Stevenson and Zepeda in a peculiar position, with no clear title fight on the horizon. For Zepeda, the frustration is evident. After his impressive knockout of Giovanni Cabrera, he made a bold declaration in the ring, saying he would travel to Ukraine to face Berinchik. It was a statement that underscored his desperation to secure a championship bout, even if it means facing the champion on his home turf. But, as Algieri aptly noted, the chances of such a fight materializing are slim. Zepeda might have to accept that to get a shot at a title, he may need to take fights that offer little financial reward and come with high risk. Meanwhile, Stevenson's situation is just as complicated. His clinical dismantling of Harutyunyan, while impressive, has done little to silence the critics who claim that his style lacks excitement. Despite his dominant performances, Stevenson has struggled to shake off the reputation of being a defensive fighter who fails to deliver knockouts. The fans' dissatisfaction was evident as many left the arena early during his last 2 fights, frustrated by what they perceived as a lack of action.
Zepeda's good. Zepeda's real good. It's hard to say because, like I said, I've been there with Shakur. He's great. He's great at distancing. You know what I'm saying, and keeping a great amount of space. But I think it'd be a good fight because it'll.
This brings us to the growing idea that even if Shakur is resisting, he and Zepeda need each other. A fight between Stevenson, with his defensive wizardry, and Zepeda, with his relentless aggression, could be exactly what both fighters need at this point in their careers. For Stevenson, it's an opportunity to prove that he can handle a power puncher like Zepeda, and in doing so, perhaps finally silence the critics who have been questioning his style. For Zepeda, a fight with Stevenson would be more than just another match. It would be a chance to prove that he belongs among the elite. Zepeda has been knocking on the door for a title fight, but his path has been blocked at every turn. Taking on Stevenson, the WBC champion, would be his best chance to claim a title and secure his place at the top of the lightweight division. But the road to making this fight happen is fraught with challenges. Both fighters are now navigating the complex world of boxing promotions, where business decisions often take precedence over athletic ones. Stevenson's newfound status as a free agent could give him more leverage in negotiations, but it also means that he will need to carefully choose his next move. Zepeda, tied to Golden Boy Promotions, might find himself at odds with the priorities of his promoter, who has already shown reluctance to make the Stevenson fight a reality. Even with all these complications, the consensus among analysts is that this fight needs to happen. Timothy Bradley Jr. emphasized that for Zepeda to truly prove himself, he needs to take on Stevenson. But Paulie Malignaggi, another analyst, added an interesting twist by suggesting that while Stevenson may not be the fighter who makes champions out of his opponents, he may be the only option left for Zepeda to challenge himself at the highest level. William Zepeda's recent fight against Maxie Hughes only solidified his position. In a thrilling match at the Cosmopolitan in Las Vegas, Zepeda overwhelmed Hughes with his relentless, volume-punching style, ultimately securing a unanimous decision victory. This win kept his undefeated record intact and continued to build his reputation as a force to be reckoned with. But Zepeda's eyes are set on even bigger challenges. With Gervonta Davis recently securing a decisive win over Frank Martin, the landscape of the lightweight division is shifting rapidly. Gervonta's victory over Martin was nothing short of spectacular, showcasing his devastating power and tactical brilliance. This win has left fans and analysts alike speculating about the next big matchups in the division, with Zepeda's name frequently coming up. Zepeda's team, led by trainer Jay Najjar, remains confident in their ability to take on the division's elite. After the Hughes fight, Najjar didn't hold back. "We want to fight all the champions who are out there," Najjar said. "We're ready for each and every one of them." This statement reflects the growing ambition within Zepeda's camp as they eye potential bouts with the likes of Gervonta Davis, Vasily Lomachenko, and of course Shakur Stevenson. While Shakur Stevenson has been hesitant to take on Zepeda, the Mexican star's recent performances might change the narrative. Zepeda's style is built on relentless aggression, as seen in his record-setting performance against Joseph Diaz Jr. back in October 2022. In that fight, Zepeda threw an astonishing 1,536 punches, a lightweight division record, leaving Diaz unable to mount a meaningful defense. This kind of output makes Zepeda a nightmare for any opponent, especially those who prefer a more technical, defensive style like Stevenson. The fight against Hughes was another showcase of Zepeda's machine-like consistency. Throughout the fight, he applied relentless pressure, never allowing Hughes a moment to breathe. Hughes, a seasoned fighter with a strong record, was simply outclassed by Zepeda's work rate and power. The CompuBox numbers told the story. Zepeda once again averaged over 100 punches per round, with a mix of jabs and power shots that left Hughes struggling to keep up. But what's next for Zepeda? With Gervonta Davis fresh off his win against Frank Martin, a potential clash between Zepeda and Davis would be a dream matchup for fans. Gervonta, known for his explosive knockout power, would be facing a fighter in Zepeda who never stops coming forward, throwing punches from all angles. It's the kind of fight that could determine the future king of the lightweight division. However, Zepeda's team is also keeping an eye on other potential opponents. Vasily Lomachenko, despite a recent controversial loss. A fight between Lomachenko and Zepeda would be a classic matchup of styles, with Lomachenko's technical brilliance facing off against Zepeda's raw power and relentless pace. Stevenson's reluctance to fight Zepeda might stem from the risk involved. Zepeda is a dangerous opponent for anyone, and a loss to him could derail Stevenson's plans for unification bouts with the likes of Gervonta Davis or Lomachenko. However, with the lightweight division becoming increasingly competitive, Stevenson might soon find himself backed into a corner with no other top-level opponents available. Zepeda's team, however, is not sitting around waiting. They are actively pursuing the biggest fights in the division, and with each passing victory, Zepeda's stock continues to rise. "We're not afraid of anyone," Zepeda said after the Hughes fight. "I've worked hard to get to this point, and I'm ready to take on the best. Whether it's Gervonta, Lomachenko, or Stevenson, I'll be ready." As the lightweight division continues to heat up, Zepeda finds himself in a prime position. The top fighters in the division are all looking for the next big payday, and with his growing popularity, Zepeda is becoming an increasingly attractive option. Promoters know that a fight involving Zepeda is guaranteed to be action-packed, and that's something fans are eager to see. So while Shakur Stevenson might have initially balked at the idea of fighting Zepeda, the landscape of the lightweight division is changing rapidly. With each victory, Zepeda is proving that he belongs among the elite, and it's only a matter of time before the top fighters in the division are forced to take notice. Zepeda's journey to the top has been anything but easy, but that's what makes him such a compelling figure in the sport. His relentless work ethic, combined with his devastating power, has turned him into one of the most feared fighters in the division. So as much as Shakur is saying no to it, it might be just what he needs. What do you think? Share your thoughts below, and don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel for more updates. See you in the next one.